My name is Ladipo Ayodeji, aka Chef Dee, and they call me the food general. I said life is not about ginger and garlic, but it's about garlic and ginger. Don't do it. Ogunio. Over the past 5 years, they need to give me one house on Bodilon. I swear, alone. My name is Ladipo Ayodeji, aka Chef Dee, and they call me the food general. I'm an executive chef, a consultant, a restaurateur, and a culinary school owner, and also a brand ambassador for Unilever and a couple other brands. So setting my mind right every day, actually, because of the details of our job, usually behind the scene of our job is always very chaotic. So the first thing I do to set my mind right for the day is actually to start with that level of chaos. So I actually hit the gym, do a lot of very active work within about an hour, just to raise my cardiovascular energy. So for that, I get in the gym in the morning, get some reps done, pumped up in 1 hour, and I'm good for the day. So I think my motivation actually comes from growth. I know that every day is important to my growth, and I'm not ready to miss one day out of it. So because of that, I want to wake up every day and see what life has in store for me. But really, it's not about just what life has in store for me. What I have in store for life, because we're in the business of service. So we have a lot to offer, we have a lot to render. So I can't just stay back. I need to come out. I need to get up with my energy. I know that we are doing this again. But at the end of the day, it's not even the fear of poverty or anything. It's just basically about everyday growth, everyday development. That's what keeps us going. And that's the beauty of this job, because we get to grow every day. Behind the kitchen doors, the value that shapes the way my team works together is the discipline and the high energy that I put into them. So it's not just going to be, and another very important thing about my team is the humility that we work with. So it's not just going to be about, who is good or who is not good. The first thing for me is discipline. It's very, very high on my table. And then we always require the right energy to work, the right energy, the right attitude. So they know if myself, the food general comes into the kitchen with you and you are not there with the right energy, I'm sending you out of my kitchen, because in my kitchen, I don't take nonsense. You are in the general's kitchen. You need to know that this is a chain of command. Are you ready to be here? Yes or no? If I have to pick one dish that represents my journey from the start to now, I'm going to pick our favorite Ofada jambalaya. Let me tell you about it. So I grew up in a small town from Ogun State, where we normally have Ofada rice being sold in leaf from afternoon time, So it's been a part of the culture and the tradition. But while growing up, I later realized that there are some people who actually don't like Ofada. Now, for what? Some people say it's probably the smell or something. I believe so much in the dish. I love the dish so much, just the way I believe in myself. And I believe you can actually make something great out of it. So over the line in my journey, as I continue to develop myself and grow, I was able to hack into the system and created something I called Ofada fried rice, which is also called Ofada jambalaya. And sometimes you're even confused. Is it the real Ofada sauce? Everything has been placed into one. So we created that dish. And now from the normal local Ofada rice that has been served in leaves and stuff, we have been able to create what we call Ofada jambalaya, which is a modern classic of an Afro fusion. And that actually explains what my journey is all about, because I've been able to take something directly from my childhood, something I'm very close to, something I'm very familiar and detailed with, and I've been able to make it into a very fine classic dish. And also, yeah, you can actually say, okay, I'm just trying to be creative. But then, if we are not creative, what are we going to do? That, I think that is actually the soul of life. That is the soul of food. And that is what we're actually about ourselves. So putting this together in context, talking about my journey, I'll say, okay, let me just change my name to Ofada Jambalaya, because I've been able to redefine myself far from where I came from. You know, I say that's a small boy from Ifo now has a restaurant in Nigeria where they sell the best Ofada rice in Lagos. Think about that. That's who I am. Was I motivated or was I conditioned? I don't know if it was a motivation or probably okay. Because if you're going to link about me being a footballer to food, I think it's actually two different worlds apart. I've been a professional footballer. I had series of injuries that stopped me from football, but I think in between that football life, I had a prophecy that said I was going to feed nations. And I thought I was just going to be rich and send food to orphanages. And so I was actually doing that in my early days. So I was actually sending out food to orphanage, sending money to orphanage. But it got to a breaking point. Something came back to tell me that I was doing something wrong, you know. And I took a lot of time to sit back to ask myself, what exactly is the problem? You know, and the prophecy keeps coming back to me every day that I am going to feed nations. And that is what I am meant to do. You know, by the special grace of God, one beautiful day like that, I got very, very inspired. Not just being inspired, I think God spoke to me and I listened clearly when he said, the nation I am meant to feed them with the work of my hand, not me sending food, with my food. So that was actually where it all changed. I left every other thing I was doing, and I think that was 2015. I left every other thing I was doing, and I knew that food is the only way now. Is the way, the truth, and life. Don't do it. Ogunio. The first sincere truth that I've always told a lot of people about food, about the culinary industry, is that please, if you have an option, don't do it. Because number one is a cult. The moment you join, you are not going out. And once you join, you are there forever. It is extremely, extremely difficult to be in the food service industry. Now, the most important problem there is what we call service. So you can actually just enjoy yourself as a chef. Probably you are just enjoying yourself from home as a private chef. But when it comes to service, now, you know, when it comes to service is required every day, every other day. So you need to wake up and provide that service. And the people you are providing the service for, they don't care what your condition is. You don't care what happens to MTN. You just want to make sure that there's network. You don't care what happens to bank. If you are at the supermarket now, you want to pay, and something is wrong with the bank, you start cursing them. Now, people don't care what is wrong with the chef. They just need their food. And you have to make sure that their food is available. And if their food is not available, you are not working. You don't have a life in the industry. So it's actually very difficult that as much as we have to put our best into offering this service, the world does not care about us in line of service. All they just want is their service being rendered. It's not an easy industry. And you know, one error in the kitchen, you are gone. Because the kitchen is a very volatile place. One error in the kitchen, you could be out. The whole of your kitchen, the whole of your house, the whole of your establishment could be gone. So it's a place that requires excessive discipline. You can't joke with it. That's why the kitchen is designed like a military camp. That's why the kitchen hierarchy is designed like a brigadier setup. Because if you don't have the military alertness, you can't function in a kitchen. You are going to be lost. Military alertness, without that, is a zero. Thank you. It's actually very important that we have good partners, good supply partners for our food chain. So let me give you an example. We have one of our best salads. One of our best salads in the restaurant is called Victoria Garden Salad. And we cannot make that salad without having these mixed greens. And do you know what is going to happen to me if I cannot get this supply from my favorite suppliers? That means I'm not able to get our best salad. Thank God for AprilVines. At least they deliver me a lot of times. I'm actually going to be very sincere about this. When it comes to the operational challenges that stresses me the most, especially in food business, no lies, electricity. Between me and you, between me and, I don't know, maybe it's between me and the president, or maybe between me and Dangote, or I swear the amount I've spent on diesel and fuel in my business, okay, over the past 5 years, they need to give me one house on body loan. I swear, alone. Oh my father, tell about for me. We spend a lot of money, you know, because in food business, there's something we call preparation, presentation, but there's the last bit that is most important there. It is preservation. Preservation is the first thing about food business. And, you know, there's no lights, so we have to burn diesel all day. We have to burn fuel all day. The past 2 weeks have been crazy because, you know, the recent global economic crisis, fuel price has gone up. So there's a lot of operational challenges we face. But for me, fuel, electricity is killing us. Every other person is good. My staffs are wonderful. My team, I have a very wonderful team. But the main problem that I have, government, give me light. Give us light. Light is hitting all our profits. You can't imagine if I have to spend, I'm telling you for a fact that I spend minimum of 700,000 naira power in my business every week. God sees my heart, 700,000 naira power in my business weekly. So that's how bad it is. I can speak about it for the next 1 hour. Around Kogaza, you see, no worry, eyes are red. There's a lot next for Chef Dee. So we have a restaurant. So I don't think I'm actually thinking about new location yet, definitely. We want to balance this. We want this place to be a hidden gem, a tourist center for people to come from out of the country and want to visit Fame. And but we have a lot is left. We have a lot of projects we are working on. We have a lot of product line coming. We have culinary shows. There's a lot we're actually working on. You know, Chef Dee always come up with a project, so you just have to wait. Stay tuned and see what's coming to your doorstep. So FAME is an acronym for Feel at Home. So the moment you walk into this place, how do you feel? We just wanted to walk in here and feel like this is your home. So just order for food, eat all you want. If you don't pay, don't mind. It's your home. You're fine. But don't do that because the general's come.